Sheep hunting. There really is no task too immodest for you.
Hey, it's harder than it sounds. They're really squirrely and they run away fast.
So smite them with magic.
Aha!
What is it? Shades?
No, you're right. If I use magic, I don't have to get close.
Might I make another suggestion?
What?
Do not yell like a madman every time you come to a realization.
Keep having weird dreams. I don't know. Yeah, I just can't really understand why I'm having these dreams.
Of course. I'd be stupid not to. But I have to save Yona, no matter what.
I see. Then I won't try to stop you.
You're a pretty good listener for such an old-timer, Vice.
I got you.
I should be offended.
I got up very late. I woke up at 9. And then I decided I'm just gonna lay in bed until I decide I actually want to get outside. I was having a weird dream. I was like, I want to see if I can go back and play the rest of the app. And then I didn't get out of bed until 1:30. Streaming, and then I'm gonna probably start doing some studying. I'm not sure if the lab would be open. Well, Quest won't be open. Besides that, I'm not really doing it. My plan is to just kind of stay inside for the most part. Yeah. We have similar things. Pretty much everything. As far as I'm aware. When I woke up, everyone was like making food, but then like 20 minutes later, everyone went back to their room, so I'm just assuming nobody really doing anything. Really unactive day. Productive. I will talk to you later. Love you too. Talk to you later. Bye.
massively involved, and everything is in flux. Everything's but even so, it seemed like there was one constant we could always fall back on. Fortnite is still there. It's still there. Since 2018, when the Fortnite Battle Royale really exploded in popularity, the game has been the de facto live service game model that everyone else in the industry has been chasing with increasingly disaster. Like, for example, Sony's live service, if that isn't wrong, well, the industry is adapt, and Fortnite was the model of a successful live service game. It seemed untouchable, invincible, even. But on March 24th, 2026, Tim Sweeney dropped the bomb that more than 1,000 developers, or 20% of Epic Games' total workforce, had been laid off. In the statement, Sweeney blamed the downturn of games started, and bluntly stated that he and Epic Games are spending significantly more than we're making, and we have to make major cuts. Wait a second. Epic Games is the same the same Fortnite that is Fortnite, one of the most lucrative games of all time. In 2025, they made an estimated $6 billion. The game that they don't have to sell. It doesn't exactly sound like a downturn, does it? I've seen claims that this is the most they've ever made in a year. I mean, how does that make any degree of sense? Is Fortnite more successful than it has ever been? Or is it in precipitous decline? Is it Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on Game Rings, we ask the question, what the hell is going on with Fortnite? That is the question that du jour, and unsurprisingly, the answer is a big fat, it's complicated. One, and this isn't to appeal to the character of Tim Sweeney, but he is the CEO of Epic Games, and has shareholders to answer to, so it must be understood that you just can't straightforwardly trust what Tim Sweeney says. I am not saying that Tim Sweeney is a liar. I am saying he is an executive. And I know that these sound like the same thing. In the dictionary, they're listed as synonyms. But trust me, there is nuance. There must be a reason why they had to cut so many people. And it's not like the overall opinion on Fortnite is entirely positive or ever has been. So there's definitely something up here. The smoke detector's going off. Everybody's clearing out of the house. But is there actually a fire? Is Fortnite on fire? Or is the studio just resetting back to pre-pandemic numbers to stabilize themselves? It's hard to say exactly what Fortnite's future looks like right now, but there's a reason why for years it was the model that everyone wanted to copy. Going off the numbers alone, it's obvious why industry executives would be salivating for capturing a fraction of Fortnite's success. It's generated an estimated $42 billion so revenue in total, and makes about $2.74 billion every single day. Compare that to some of the biggest success stories in gaming, like it has generated probably around $10 billion, not just $11 billion, which is beyond impressive in terms of money. It's incomprehensible to an individual person, and yet it's not even a fourth of the bacon that Fortnite has brought home. Fortnite not only suffocating, but also being physically crushed under the weight of the massive amount of bacon it has brought home. And they've done it in a significantly shorter amount of time than GTA.
You hunted down the boar, and it looks like you found a boar tusk. They say boars become tame around folks who carry one of those. Apparently, they'll even let you ride around on their back. Sounds like hokum to me. If you're brave enough.
Going through a rough patch in terms of Black Ops 7 and the fallout surrounding it, that's still a consistent money for Activision.
Have your W-2 and file your taxes 100% free, plus get your biggest refund. Roughly 30
Now we can walk the plane.
Simple search and push returns only.
Still a consistent money for Activision. It's basically why Microsoft bought them, of course. And it's still pretty significantly behind the earnings of Fortnite. Decades
Please get that button. My kids
less
are...
than 1 decade. From the outside, it appeared like everything was going smoothly. In 2024, Disney acquired equity stakes at games for $1.5 billion. Coverage of seasonal content has been generally positive. But like I said in the intro, I've seen claims that 2025 was their most successful year yet, at $6 billion in revenue. an absolutely staggering number. These kinds of claims do need to be taken with a grain of salt, as Epic has not actually said how much their games are making. Yes, they do have investors, but no, they're not retail investors. They're not a publicly traded company, and thus do not have to divulge that information to the public. So keep that in mind going forward. The lack of hard
I brought the
information makes it a lot harder to keep track of exactly what's going on with this kind of stuff. So remember, if
Since you've already been such a help, could you deliver the...
Okay.
Widely accurate. It is reported online.
Hey there,
but
wanna let a
even
girl
though
buy you a drink?
analysts
I'm
are
not old enough to drink Devila.
numbers come
When the sun
from
never
those
sets,
people
what difference does it
generally,
make?
They are still speculating.
Never
Anyway,
mind.
it seemed like things were
I
going
do
pretty
love this
epic
tavern,
for
though.
Epic. The
It's
recent
the nerve
return
center
to
of the
iOS
whole
devices
village.
placed
Folks
on
come here to
Disney
relax,
Investment
swap
Positive
stores.
Reception.
Come
Some
back
of the
whenever you
more
have a...
recent seasons paints a picture of a successful game rise, but if you looked closely, the rock was already setting in. Peak monthly active player count dropped by 28% since 2023, and while that's only on the PlayStation and Xbox consoles, it does suggest a slowly degrading player base, and those are not the only numbers that suggest Fortnite may be shrinking rather than growing. The average monthly playtime in 2025 was a lot lower as well.
Ma'am,
The average
I have
player
something
putting in
for...
about
Oh,
9
what a
hours
nice...
Don't work your...
I won't,
while in
Sonny.
2025,
And here,
2
let...
years later, that dropped to 15.4 hours. So the time spent in-game was nearly half. And even despite Fortnite's continuing success, the Epic Games Store has been an expensive boondoggle that they poured hundreds of millions of dollars into, but only make a profit from because it's the only platform to play Fortnite on PC with. Their legal battles with Google and Apple have ultimately gone their way, but according to Sweeney, they've spent over $1 billion on those fights. This is also not the first time they've laid off. In 2023, a sizable chunk of Epic staff were also let go for similarly stated reasons. Just weeks before these recent layoffs, Epic also announced a price increase for Fortnite's in-game currency, V-Bucks. Now, instead of getting 1,000 for $9, you get 800 for $9. The reason, once again, Epic bluntly explained the cost of running Fortnite has gone up a lot, and we're raising the prices to help pay the bill, which is, to be clear, an absurd statement for a studio that has apparently made all of the money in 2025, but that's where we're at with these guys now. Maybe a few years ago, people would buy everything outright, but with confidence in the core game eroding, players are now seeing decisions like this as money grubbing. And to be clear, I think that's probably true. Like, I think it's probably also partly true that the cost of running Fortnite is enough. Hell, the cost of playing video games is literally. So I have to imagine that a game that relies on data centers simply to exist day to day probably has gone up in price to maintain. That doesn't mean the price increase is not part of a growing trend where players are starting to feel burnt out and exploited by increasingly lackluster seasons that cost more to play. And it also doesn't mean that it isn't greedy. And 2025 was kind of a big turning point in terms of that perception. 2025 had intermittent seasons and didn't offer much that people were particularly excited about. The problem with live service is once the spell breaks and the problem disappears, it's super easy to move on and run back. It doesn't need to be one specific thing because in many ways Fortnite is still Fortnite. It's still essentially the same game that people like to play. But player confidence in the product has been slowly eroded. Got 5,000 cuts in. Let's just say this. Even if Fortnite was absolutely excellent, if you ate a perfectly cooked filet mignon every single day for every single meal, you eventually get bored of it. And filet mignon night. The impression I got from reading the testimonies of a lot of players who finally gave up on the game in 2025 and more recently in 2026 is that it was never one big thing that made them give up. It was something small like a middling season pass that doesn't give you as much as you used to get, or the V-Bucks changes, or a new mode that doesn't really connect. And because this game probably reached saturation a couple of years ago, there's so many people already playing. When somebody leaves, it's unlikely there's going to be a ton of new players coming in to replace them. A game like Fortnite has a peak player limit, and if saturation point was in the future, I would be shocked. Like, the idea we haven't reached that point and are now looking at it in the rearview mirror would be a total shock. player engagement does appear to be dropping, while the game is still generating a ton of cash. Again, 2025 possibly being their best year ever. The cost of doing business for Fortnite does appear to be quite high, and if they continue to pursue the current direction for the game, it's going to keep going up. And it's not even that Epic Games is admitting the cost of Fortnite is going up. They're practically bragging about it. Like, look at this blog post talking about how much Epic gave away to creators in 2024. If you're unaware, Fortnite Creators Mode isn't just like a thing you can play around in. The stuff you make actually can make you money based on how much time players actively engage with the stuff you make. In that blog post, Epic brags about how it is distributed $352 million to creators, and it's 11% more than they gave away in 2023. In 2026, the payouts will be even bigger. And like I said, server costs are going up, and it's interesting because it's forcing Epic to kind of talk out both sides of their mouth. When they have to fire people, that make big claims about rising costs, while other parts of their business can proudly proclaim how they've given away millions of dollars. And while $352 million isn't exactly a huge chunk of $6 billion, if indeed that is what they're making yearly now, the amount that Epic will be giving creators will increase exponentially in 2026. So here is where I think we get into what is really going on with Fortnite. Yes, interest in the game does appear to be waning. Analysts and at least one person who claims to be a former employee said as much, but also take anything that someone claiming to be a former employee says with a grain of salt, because A, who knows if they actually are a former Epic employee, and B, if they weren't, are they just trying to make their former employer that they maybe don't like look bad? It's entirely possible. And apparently Epic was investing heavily in multiple long-term projects directly funded by Fortnite that may never actually surface, and on top of that, the overall expense to keep Fortnite running are, in his words, insane. Considering how many employees do actually still remain at Epic and the absurdly fast tempo of updates for the game, I would hardly be surprised that it costs the studio a significant amount just to keep the game running. But there's a big elephant in the room that I have not mentioned, and it's Roblox. If you want to know what the hell is going on,
Hey, Popola. Do you have any pain medicine?
Pain medicine?
It's for Yona. Her pain is...
That poor girl. Well, I guess we could try a shaman fish.
What's that?
It's a fish found near seafront. Their livers contain a chemical that's said to dull even the strongest pain.
That sounds perfect. How do I get there?
You can find seafront out past the southern plains. Shades have been spotted there recently, though, so be careful. Ah, good. Just the man I needed. Could you gather 2 medicinal herbs from the northern plains for me? They usually grow in patches of grass or by the bases.
2 medicinal herbs.
Thanks for securing those herbs for me. I must be getting old if I need...
Yeah, what up?
Yeah, you called me earlier about sleeping.
I just wanted to say Happy Easter. My phone's on 1% right now.
Okay, so happy Easter, I'll let you go.
Catch you later, buddy.
Peace.
Damn shades! Go away! That villager is under attack. Die, you foul beasts!
Save me. Things are getting really bad here lately. Here, take this.
even if they don't come out. There is so far it seems like they're contained to the kitchen. Even if it keeps going on a month longer, trying to do everything we can do pest control is coming every week. How much money he spends on me. Food, gifts, gas money. And he refuses to let me pay him back so soon. $5 and $10 bills into his pocket.
on these old bones. What if he returns today? Can't let the lighthouse stay dark.
I doubt we'll have much luck blundering about blindly for a...
What should we do? I don't even know what one looks like, so if you've got a better idea...
Perhaps we could try asking some of the towns.
Works for me. Heck, we might even find a place that sells them.
A port town like this is a real jewel. If you can't find it here, you don't need it. There's a post office in the center of town. We've also got lots of fish, which are in pretty high demand. Lots of ladies, too. But they're not as sought after.
This town's better off than most, you know. We have our trading partners to thank for it.
These stairs are tough when you're as old as I am.
This gate is too rusted.
This is getting us...
Yeah.
In that case, I shall locate an expert in the field.
Wait, you can do...
Nothing is beyond the ability of Grimoire Weiss.
Then why didn't you suggest that in the...
You humans are always asking for help rather than thinking for yourselves. It really is a loathsome habit. And I have located our expert. He's often...
Wow. I'm still sort of amazed.
Yes. Perhaps now you will...
I heard the lighthouse lady grumbling about some illness. Ha! Illness mine.
Hey, things could be worse.
When I grow up, I'm gonna be a...
My wife made me a nice lunch.
What you do?
Observing the ocean. I'm heading out on a fishing run. If a storm catches you off guard out there, you'd best have kissed the family goodbye before you left.
What, this?
Eventually we started talking about my mom and her idiosyncrasies. I asked him why she was always so forgiving and kind to my little sister, when she was so stern and rather was with me. My father told me that my mother had a child when she was 40, and this child was born on the 25th of October. My mother gave this child up for adoption because she was young and unable to care for it. But my little sister, the one I knew about and had grown up with, was born. It was also on October 25. This read my mother, and she thought it was God's way of punishing her for abandoning a child. My mother refused to know more about my little sister for the first few months of her life. I don't recall this, as I was very young at this time, because she couldn't deal with her guilt and grief. Eventually she was able to reconcile with her past and come to accept my little sister. Now she treats my little sister with simple kindness, etc., because of her guilt over the way she treated her in her first months of life. I found out back like that I have a half-sister out there somewhere. I've never met it.
My legs still bother.
My father and I have never again spoken of this, and my mother doesn't know that I know. On the deepest perhaps, but funniest story. You know, I got involved in a threesome once. Me, Billy, and two other girls. Me, okay, yeah, I learned two things that time. It hurts, and hey! I imagine him thinking I'm not really sure why. I have some hundreds of burners in my day, and I'm going to get to the bottom of this. My mother was a very ranger for 4 years and on Facebook told me he had to find child soldiers during his time in the army. That's a problem. I can't imagine how heavily that weighs on his conscience. It must be
A shaman fish? But hey, since you're here, how about some fresh fruits and veggies for the road?
Stuff like that, but I have something on this that ready for chicken.
How long are we gonna be there?
I can't do it without food.
I kind of maybe just sit down. Maybe so I'll go. I just don't want to be there.
And I don't want to be there when it gets dark because getting involved in years ago is like that. I'm not doing that. I'm not. It's just because I'm trying to do the same way.
I'm not getting dressed. I'm going to go.
I already know how to.
Thanks for your
I promised.
It's funny how
A shaman fish? Beats me. Hey, but since you... Hope to...
my weapons may not be the least. Thank you,
A shaman fish? A shaman fish? I haven't gotten any fish in.
We've got precious
See you later.
Huh? Shaman fish? Oh, sure. They're a cinch. But I won't do it for you. So take this pole and go... Oh, and you can't catch them here at the pier. Go dip your line at the big beach on the west... How do you fish? You gotta move your body away from where the fish is going. Got it? Here. Fishing is a test of wills between man and beast. Never give up the...
Let's head over to that beach the fisherman mentioned.
When the fishing pole makes a large movement.
Yeah,
Careful. This is going...
Yes! I finally caught it!
Unfortunate that it took you 278 tries.
We're all set. Let...
I'm so tired. Hold it!
Huh?
I said hold it! How can you just ignore an old woman in need? Oh, the children of this age are nothing.
Are you talking about...
Oh, ignore her. We've a quest to complete. People like that are best left to their own...
What's wrong?
My illness has returned. It must have been the shock of seeing this rude, floating book.
Rude? Book? Now, see here, madam.
You did this. Oh, what a terrible thing you are.
Why, you insolent crone! How dare you address me like some common paperback?
Vice, knock it off.
You there! Would you truly abandon a pitiful old woman to this cruel worm?
Are you asking me? Oh, do please ask me.
How can we help you?
Oh, good heavens! I can't believe how much cajoling that took.
Our apologies, ma'am.
I am at a loss as to what aid we could possibly give a woman who is so clearly able to talk her way into any...
I need you to go to the post office and tell them to deliver my mail.
I can't fathom why they haven't been here.
Okay, we're going. Work was...
Afternoon?
Hey, so there's someone...
Oh, you mean the...
The very same.
Sorry, but I injured my leg.
Oh, that's too...
A hurt leg? What about your sacred postman's oath? Neither wind nor sleet nor terrible monsters of the night.
Hey, if your leg hurts, we'll just deliver it.
Oh, that would be a huge help.
You don't say...
Oh, you know, since you're here...
Oh, what is it?
You're from Popola's village.
Yeah.
Huh? Well, you're dressed differently and you just have a certain... Anyway, would you mind taking this letter to Pope?
Sure.
We might as well take the postman's oath ourselves.
She's the saddest person I've ever known, but you'll never be able to guess that from the outside. She wants to be a mother for her future. Still goes to school and is a really sweet person. I wish I had known her sooner so I could help her.
军色，国问，军色，绿色，绿色，粉红色，粉红色。灰色，灰色，灰色，灰色，灰色，圈。黄色，黑色，白色，白色，红色，红色。青绿色，青绿色，黄色，红色，黄色，黑色，黑色，红色，红色。黑色，黄色，黄色，黄色，黄色，黄色。线，蓝色，蓝色，
蓝色，
蓝色，
白色，
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 白色。
黄色，
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 紫色，
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 红色，
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 橙色，
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 金色，
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 青绿色，
我
青绿色，青绿色，青绿色，
青色，
米色，米色，米色，
色，
浅，
线，
浅，
线，
黄色，
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 米色，米色，
米色，
起きた。リクちゃん、落ち着いて。私たちは君を襲った連中とは違うよ。
橙色，
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 米色，
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 黄色，
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 黄色，棕色，
棕色，
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 红色，
棕色，
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 红色，
浅，
线，线，
浅，
线，
蓝色，蓝色，
蓝色，
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 银色，
色，
银色，
颜色，西蓝色，
深蓝色，
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 深蓝色， 紫色。
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 黄色。
红色。
黄色。
黄色。
蓝色。
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 蓝绿色。
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 Watching future videos isn't gonna get you ahead of your career, but this will. Meet Cosmo is a Duolingo-style learning app for Gen AI, business, tech.
Came out to me and a bunch of our friends while drunk. There was an awkward silence before I yelled, "Let's drink to them."
稍等。稍等。
Here's how you're gonna stop making excuses and learn those languages next year. You throw one a little bit, learn, and you do the trick.
And nothing really changed. You're the perfect friend to come out to, apparently. Throw away. Last night I was having a talking.
Comment. Comment.
他的。
好的。我。
您的。
有。
Hello, Sean.
Oh, Kevin.
What is up in the world?
I am streaming and studying Chinese.
Ooh.
What are you doing?
How is it?
The stream or Chinese?
The Chinese.
Oh, it's a little confusing, but it's not that bad.
What? I just bought Crimson Desert.
Crimson Desert?
Yeah, it's that new game going around.
I've heard mixed things about it. I've heard it's just like Black Desert, but weird.
Yeah, I heard it's like a mix, kind of like Zelda and the Dark games. You know, I've seen a couple things about it. I bought it. I was like, alright, let's see what this is.
So you're gonna give it a try?
Yeah, you know, I hear good things about it.
Alright. I guess let me know how it plays.
Yeah, it's not multiplayer, it's only single player.
Huh?
I don't hear the crow.
It's only single player?
Well,
yeah.
let's...
So yeah, I guess let me know how it is. 'Cause,
Yeah, well.
What an absurd waste.
I'm playing a different game. I've had for a decent while, but never actually, went through the whole thing.
Right.
So I figured, why not just play it, go through it, stream the entire process, see if I could post some.
You know, if you want to stream Fortnite or something, or Arcades today.
Yeah. I'm really good. Oh shit. Probably gonna be going out for like maybe an hour, and then be back. So I guess whenever we get back, I'll text you, let you know. You can pop on whatever you want to play. Sound good?
Oh, you. What do you want?
We have retrieved your letter.
Just what?
The postman hurt his leg. That's why he...
That's no excuse. It's his job to deliver
What?
the mail, no matter what.
Smoking.
Didn't he take
Are you
the
smoking?
postman's
The thought that anyone would actually bother to write you a letter.
Such a rude.
Yeah, you're gonna get the real Holy Spirit in today, huh?
Something for your
Damn
trouble.
it! It just dropped off. It was like a story in the beginning, short story, and it's you go the fight pretty quick. So I know some games I'll do like an entire fucking backstory or whatever. This one's just like mini story, and you're walking.
We need to get the shaman fish to...
Yeah, so I just it's only 30 minutes to download, so that was good.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and then I just helped my dad clean up the basement and stuff.
I gotcha.
Yeah, get some stuff done around here, so he's doing pretty good.
It's what we like to hear. Better be doing good than to be doing right horrible.
Yeah, bro, you know, we're trying to, clean up the shits.
Put life back together.
Yeah, trying to make use of it. My dad's thinking, try to, like, put a mini, shed or something for me to live in.
Yeah?
And, yeah, so, like, so it's, like, separated,
Oh, so you don't have to deal with the rest of your family?
Yeah, exactly.
It can work out. It's going to be a lot of work, but it could work out. You guys have the property for it.
Yeah, we do.
You just got to be careful that nobody from the town comes and says something, because people have been being dickheads recently about the use of your own property, putting shit on it. Yeah. So if you're gonna put a shed, put the shed. Just be like discreet about it, so that way nobody can fuck up what you're doing, fuck up how you're moving.
I hear you. Remember, Popcorn?
Yeah.
They're making a movie of it now.
They're making a movie of it?
I think so. This is real. Yeah, it might be a movie about Popcorn.
Yeah, that's an animated movie?
No, real life.
Oh, they're making a live animation? Ew, that's gross.
Dirty AI. The fuck that thing. I was finding, I found like this jumbo pack that you could buy for Pokemon.
Yeah.
And, it said that it's on the cards. I was like, oh shit, that's like worth it. You spend like $20 on it, and you get like 100 something cards. And like it's like the random shit, so it's like definitely better. And I found another one that was it was guaranteed like good cards.
Mm-hmm.
And even in the ad, it was like, oh, you know, I got tired of wasting all my money on packs, spending like a month on like a chance for one good card. Instead, buy the pack and keep good cards. So that was cheap too. And then I was going through the comments to make sure that it was real, and then someone was commenting, and they were like, yeah, no, this good shit. Alright, fucking get one of those packs.
And where did you find that?
It's all on TikTok.
That's
Come up with like, shit.
of course it's on TikTok.
Doing the fucking, they sell like drones and fucking like shit for $1, and they'll go for like fucking $20-something. Either way, bro, honestly, fucking, it's way cheaper. They're just like, you know, fucking pushing different. Some of this, I got fucking air tags for fucking, I got 4 air tags, Apple air tags for $40. Those things are like fucking 100 and something piece.
Yeah, it can be expensive. I'm trying to get some money together so I can buy a 3D printer and start selling shit.
Yeah, bro, that's super cool.
On fucking TikTok, because I figure I do my D&D shit, so I figure I'm gonna get back into it. Try to be more, try to use less AI art and just draw everything by hand. Customize a lot of stuff, keep it going. Get it like Instagram or something going for my channel and whatnot, and then try to sell shit like D&D products and whatnot just to see how well it works. Yeah. But right now it's just an idea. I still need to have some kind of money coming in order to get it. So yeah.
I was playing Art Raiders this morning.
Were you?
Yeah. Real good. I took out one of the fucking boss bitches.
Yeah.
And I don't know where the fuck it went. I took it down, I saw it, I fucking gathered like the fucking parts, but I didn't get the main thing. So I feel like once you take it down, you get like the fucking, that laser weapon, you know? I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, you only get it from the drops. You don't get it from the actual, from the arc. Yeah.
Okay.
People kill the arc because you could sell the parts for a decent bit, and because they're problematic. So if you don't kill them, they're going to get in your way. But the pieces only, the blueprints only drop from the event in those crates that fall from the sky. And it's kind of hard. If you want, we could try to get them, but it's kind of hard, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we can definitely go on and play.
Yeah, I just gotta see when these people want to leave so we can go. Because what, I guess one of their mother's friends has a family friend that's doing something for Easter and invited us, but no one Or at least me and her specifically don't want to leave the house like that. I kind of want to sit inside. Take the day to kind of like be with myself and whatnot. Not really going out and doing much. And so I was like, I'll go as long as we're not gone for the entire day, because I really don't feel like being outside for like 4 or 5 hours at some random person's house with none of my own shit to do. I want to play my game. I want to study. I want to get my little business shit going. Oh yeah.
Yeah, bro. Oh, forward.
Pretty much. Keeping the spirit alive.
I hear that.
Trying to take more action and be less passive.
Now's the time to do it.
Now is the time to do it.
Did you 25 yet?
Nope.
Only?
24. Exactly. Do it now before I run out of time.
Yeah.
At least that's the mentality I'm trying to maintain, so I don't let myself get lazy and fall behind on anything. There you go. If you want to join me in any of the stuff as well, you're more than free. I said, if you want to join me for any of the stuff as well, you're more than free. I'm probably gonna, after looking over the gardening equipment, I'm probably gonna buy new equipment instead. Just because, like, for the germination kit, I'm missing the plug, so you can't put water in it. Because of the hydronics kit, so it, like, mostly functions off of water. But I do have extra pods and shit, so that's always good. I do have extra pods to put the seeds in and whatnot. So I'm gonna buy a new germination kit. I'm just gonna put shit on my credit card and hope that I can pay it off later. And
I texted my friend about the plans for the just has to send it.
I got it. If he doesn't send it, we'll just get the plant food I found. I'll buy the kit, I'll buy the new kit, you buy the plant food. As for the tent, I'm not sure how you want to handle the tent, because it can, I don't mind buying the tent. I'm not sure how you want to handle the other equipment, like the thermostats and the fans and stuff. If you want to... How much... Do you really want to get into buying equipment, or do you just want to buy, like, the bare bones shit and see how it works?
Well, like, how much equipment do you need?
If you want probably the highest success rate, you need... And if you want the highest success rate and you're doing it indoors, you're going to need the tent. The tent needs a thermostat so you can measure the temperature, a fan to get all the airflow going in properly, and like a heat lamp and a filter. And that gets pricey after a little bit. That's why I said I'm not sure if you just want to buy like the bare bone equipment and we'll just figure it out along the way. It's like I was growing weed and I had the bare bone amount of equipment as I was going about it, but it kind of got stunted a little bit because I didn't have, like, I think the filtration system would have most definitely helped a little bit.
Right.
And like a temperature gauge would have helped a little bit. I had the lamp, I had the heat lamp, so like that wasn't so much of a problem. But it made it, sometimes it'd be like too hot, so the plants would dry out, and I'd have to keep like re-watering them extra. So like that does help. So it depends. But the germination, the hydronics germination kit is like $25-50, so I'll buy that easy. And then like as long as if you're able to get the plant food, so plant food's like $30, $35. Like a large supply of plant food, we can get this shit going. just let me know, because I'm gonna see if I can buy the kit today. And I guess whenever the kit comes in, we'll get the seeds and shit going. Do you want me to? All right. So the plan was I'll germinate 4 plants. You take 2, and then I take 2, and see how they grow.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, this boss is kicking my ass. Let's see. I guess we just have to wait for your friend to get back about the plant food. We're getting this shit going, Kevin.
Yeah, right. Growing the plants.
Growing them plants, we're growing them weed. Need to get in the gardening anyways. Be self-sufficient, grow off the land.
Fresh herbs.
Fresh herbs. Do you have any time in specific you want to start, or not really?
Not really. I just want to have the shit we need.
So I'll order the hydroponics kit. I'll send you over the plant food. And I guess whenever both things come in, we can get started. I guess let me figure out when we're leaving, if we're even leaving today. And then we can hop on, or I'll hop on Arc Raiders or Fortnite, whichever one you want to play, and I'll play with you. I just want to beat this fucking boss fight and shit for 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's gonna give you the Crimson Desert.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a lot of new.
Again, let me know how the game plays. I might buy it if anything.
$70.
$70? That's ridiculous.
No.
Why is it you buy like a deluxe edition or something?
Deluxe is like 80.
They can kiss my ass with that pricing.
Yeah, I don't really care.
I don't even want to spend $40, let alone $70.
Yeah, I mean, you can wait for the price to go down, but it's going to be a while. It's going to be a couple months.
Yeah, I think I'd rather wait for the price to go down. Why? Are you playing it right now? How do you say it is? Is it good?
I don't know. I just started to it, so I'm going to finish the need to rank it out. I'm still learning the weapon.
I gotcha.
But you know, it's basic attack, like R1, R2 is attack. L1 is block. Circle is kick. You just slit my throat. My guy's bleeding out. Stop the shit.
Okay, I'm playing Neir Replicant. You might like it. I just started playing it, or at least I played it a while ago, but I didn't really get that far before other games came out, and I wanted to play those. And I wanted to stream this game, and I was just kind of getting in my own way, being hesitant and shit.
Right.
But I don't know. I like it. It's not too bad. It's like a little MMO. It's really story based though. I'm not sure how much you like story based games.
Yeah, but I don't really care much for the stories. Even though I should have liked it.
I like it so far. I'm not sure how much it is right now. I know one of the games, because there's two. There's Nier Automatum, and then there's Neir Replicant, and that's the one I'm playing right now. You might like them. There's decent bits of boss fights and shit. It's a decently moving, or like, I get decently paced game in my opinion. It's got a decent bit to offer. They don't make games like these anymore.
Not yet.
They most definitely don't make games like these anymore. It's one of those games where you have to play it multiple times, and each time you replay it, the more stuff it unlocks for you. So like, you start unlocking new things, like the bosses are speaking a foreign language, and you start to unlock the language they're speaking. You unlock different skills, different abilities. It tells you, gives you more lore about the game and shit. Different things will happen a little are slightly altered. I think I like this series. And it's supposed to be really psychological, because that's how the creator of the game wanted it to be.
Psychological?
Yeah, like, gets you thinking about, like, philosophy and life and shit that's going on and whatnot. So that's why I like the game. I like to play it.
That's interesting.
It is. It is. Sometimes they're a little hard, but it's pretty interesting. Yeah. I guess I'll call you back and I'll let you know what I'm doing.
Alright, sounds
good. Talk to you later, Birdie. Peace.
Hey, you there. Have you seen my Max around?
Max? Sorry, I don't know a Max.
Max is my dog. He's been missing since yesterday.
Oh, I see. Any idea where he went?
He usually likes to run around the northern plains. Most of the time, he just comes and goes, but I haven't seen him in over a day.
I'll keep an eye out. If I...
Thank you.
Is something wrong?
Oh, it's nothing. Just a little choked up about my dog is all.
All right, if you say so. I bought your tulip.
Thanks. Here's... Oh, I forgot. I was next time you're in Seafront?
Sure.
Why not fill your garden? I hope...
Excuse me, but can you help me deliver a large serving tray to the town of Seafront?
I'd be happy to.
Wonderful. Just take it to the tavern, okay? Oh, and make sure not to jump around.
Please get that mutt.
Of this place.
If you want to know what the hell is going on with Fortnite, look at Roblox. In 2025, one Roblox game, a game developed inside Roblox, not the entire platform itself, a single game on it had more concurrent users than Fortnite has ever had. Grow a Garden, a game that saw massive
Not this task
popularity last year,
again.
but basically
We'll be fine. We just need to go slow and take it easy.
I am a creature of phenomenal talents, but those are two that escape me.
16.4 million players at the same time playing it. There are claims that it was heavily modded, but without any evidence, appears to be a legit player. If you want to know what scares Fortnite, it's that. And the more numbers out there.
Crap!
That didn't
Players
sound
spent
good.
over 10 billion
I
hours.
think we broke something.
Well, there is little point in finishing the delivery now. Let's go back and apologize.
Yeah, I guess.
Nice. And even better, 44% of active Roblox users are under 17, a number that Epic Games really coveted because the younger user base is easier to exploit, which is a disgusting thing to say, but of course, we are talking about business. Let me be clear, so much about Roblox is incredibly dumb. And when it is not being stupid as hell, it is shockingly exploitative. There is a whole rabbit hole to go down about Roblox.
Not this
and
task
we would be
again.
here all day of
We'll be fine. We just need to go slow and take it easy.
I am a creature of phenomenal talents, but those are two that
is
escape
a
me.
wealth extraction device for clueless parents. Being a fun game you play is pretty much at the bottom of its list of priorities. And, well, if we're serious here, it's not at the top of the list of Fortnite's priorities. But you just say that if your platform makes Fortnite look like quote-unquote real games, problem. I can't imagine our audience cares, and why certainly not care about Roblox. But if I were to deny that it is extremely popular, that's all delusion. I am a realist. That is why many of you have told me to compare what I say. That's why people have been joining the 1% club in the Mountain Jokes with me on Saturday. We talk about stuff like this all the time. To be frank, it is with a heavy heart that I state the truth that Roblox is extremely popular. It is that truth, however, that puts Fortnite in the crosshairs and, of course, in direct competition with Roblox. Epic Games isn't a studio that thinks small. Their main competitors are nothing less than Steam, the platform for playing PC games, and Roblox, the most popular platform for user-generated gaming out there. And that is why in 2023, the Robloxification of
Man, I am starving.
A city of this size must have some manner of eatery nearby.
Creators that earn money based on island engagement, i.e. how long they trap people on their island. It is an unusual form of monetization.
Are you sure your tax expert is right for you? Switch to TurboTax Full Service.
How long they trap people on their island. It is an unusual form of monetization, but not a future Roblox. That was just the start. You know, I mentioned how much money Fortnite was giving away to creators. That was for engagement. But in early 2025, Fortnite revealed that on top of the engagement payout, they were now implementing in-island transactions. And
If you're ready to
this
get-
is part of the whole Fortnite story that has inexplicably gone unreported.
Come back if-
It is absolutely essential to understand why Fortnite is doing anything that they're doing. It used to be that everything you purchased in Fortnite was usable in all modes, but now with in-island transactions,
Why do
you
all men have to be
that
so-
cost V-Bucks that are only compatible with those specific islands or games, I guess, which is exactly how Roblox works. What does this have to do with the increasing cost of Fortnite's business? Maybe the fact that December 31st, 2026, 74% of in-game sales will be going out to creators, which Fortnite helpfully reminds us is almost 50% more than what Roblox offers. That is an extreme amount of money they are paying out to creators from their own pockets in 2026. It's very engaging, but in early 2025, Fortnite revealed that on top of the engagement payout, they were now implementing in-island transactions. And this is part of the whole Fortnite story that has inexplicably gone unreported, but it is absolutely essential to understand why Fortnite is doing anything that they're doing. It used to be that everything you purchased in Fortnite was usable in all modes, but now with in-island transactions, you have microtransactions.
It's
that
not like we
cost
can keep it
V-Bucks
hidden
that are
forever.
only compatible with those specific islands or games, I guess, which is exactly how Roblox works. What does this have to do with the increasing costs of Fortnite's business? Maybe the fact that through December 31st, 2026, 74% of in-game sales will be going out to
Hey there,
creators,
got us.
which
Oh,
Fortnite
thank you.
helpfully
We
reminds
should
us
tell the
is
client we
almost
delivered.
50% more than what Roblox offers.
Hey there,
That
and he's-
is
Well,
an
we have a local
extreme
special.
amount of money
It's
they are
pretty much
paying out
all
to
anyone here
creators
wants to
over
eat.
their own pockets in 2026, and it will end up being hundreds of
Well, that's terrible. Want me to find...
Would you? I need 10 medicinal herbs, 10 bags of wheat, and 10 sardines.
Incentivizing creators to make new stuff for their platform, and maybe that money they're giving away is an effort to try to lure Roblox creators
It's not like we can keep it hidden
in an
forever.
attempt to grow market share. But
Welcome.
we've seen that move before. It's called the Epic Game Store, which pays out more to creators,
Okay.
and yet it's not Steam. So who cares? Unless I'm forced to interact with the Epic Store, which I was with Alan Wake 2. I
See you
don't open it, ever. I guiltily forget it exists. Let's be real here. That move with the Epic Store and the moves they've made with the Robloxification of Fortnite shows you they do not want to be in the virtual theme park business. They want to be in the absentee landlord business, which, of course, is the ultimate campaign, doing absolutely nothing to collect rents because you own the productive property and
I'll cook
allow
any-
others to use it. The financialization of
Care for some-
gamification of production. The vast majority of Roblox's revenue comes from exploiting their creators, people who are not salaried employees of the studio, freelancers working for corporate script that can be transferred into real money through a convoluted scheme that's designed in every step of the process to benefit Roblox Corporation and no one else,
Thanks.
and usually with the permission of their clients. That sounds like a pretty good racket, which makes sense why Fortnite wants a piece of
We got
that pie, but the whole thing is built on a hill of sand. Roblox has a massive user base, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're incredibly successful, because Roblox never actually posted. See, Roblox is a publicly traded company. They do have to post those things, and they have never made a profit. They do have an operating cash flow that has increased year over year. They are in a healthy condition, and I almost
We got the lick.
but they are still in a startup mindset that could eventually lead to ballooning expenses that hurt their overall bottom line. What I'm saying is that while Roblox is a success, it is not necessarily the runaway freight train of pure profit that Fortnite is, or at least was. And I think Tim Sweeney is looking for places to boost profitability, so they're going the Roblox route. If the focus shifts from bespoke game modes made by a team of internal developers to creators, then Epic doesn't need the headcount it has. We're already seeing that transition in action. Game modes like Rocket Racing, Festival Battle Stage, and Ballistic are getting removed entirely from the game. Right now, it really is looking like we're going all in on creators, and I've got to be honest, folks, it's looking kind of bleak. Trying to play Fortnite in 2026 is like trying to watch YouTube without signing in. It's horrifying. It is a front page where you're bombarded with the stupidest garbage you can possibly imagine. Battle Royale is, of course, the marquee game mode, and it's front and center, but if you're on that Discover tab, it is a sea of pure strained horseshit. I didn't want to make this video to complain about Fortnite Creative because real people did make this stuff, and also I don't regularly play Fortnite as you likely expect to pay attention to me for more than 10 seconds. But I turn on a few games. I won't name them here because I want to rag on someone's passion project or whatever. But every single win I went on was, and I cannot understate this, fucking terrible. It's genuinely below Trials Evolution. Besides scrolling motorcycle games for user-generated content. And as you get expected, my phone wasn't good. And the stink of monetization really the whole thing. Games like Little Big Planet and Green, Mario Maker, they're all full of incredible games made by passion. Essentially without monetary incentives, I could do it for the love of the game. And when you compare that to this, it really makes Fortnite feel pretty cynical, desperate, and fucked up. It's become a software built ground, constantly begging you to stick around. I would find that like some of the worst garbage I have ever played. I understand that a lot of the time people are using stuff like this to learn how to make games. And I think that's great. I think that it's important that both are given platforms to learn, as well as the space to make stuff that kind of sucks in order to get better. But I don't think that stuff should be so front and center in the main experience. Does that make sense? And it's generally not that anyways. It's generally cynical garbage trying to pull money out of it. Like some of this stuff makes Final Sword look good in comparison. I cannot believe how awful the Fortnite ecosystem actually is. Part of it comes down to what is essentially a fairly young ecosystem. They're only a few years in, so they're pretty limited tools. I mean, everything I've played looks basically like Fortnite. Gameplay can be altered too much by design. In contrast, Roblox is actually a far more capable creation, but also it was built to be that. Its development is oriented towards its tool set, and although I don't play Roblox, I have seen genuinely incredible things from Roblox videos. Not that it's necessarily the norm there, and thus I'm not going to start playing. But Fortnite is some of the new game modes are legitimate. Battle stage is, or was, an impressive surprise. Not confident, but it's surprisingly close. The Battle Royale mode still feels most of the same. Just more that. And if that's what you like, I'm sure it's fun, but it's really hard to get excited about. And not just because I am not actually excited by Fortnite. I mean, I'm talking about something especially I'm not talking out of my ass. It's not a bad game. I mean, it could never truly reach the level of popularity that it was legitimately bad, but it is stale. They are running out of ideas, so transitioning to a Roblox-like is as much a desperation as it is a calculated business. Fortnite is, by most metrics, a still wildly successful game, but this year may be the year that actually changes. Maybe the Roblox pivot will pay off in the long run, but right now, it's not looking great. The Epic Game Store is never going to be Steam. The Unreal Engine has never been anywhere nearly focused on the Fortnite. Insane. And the game itself is slowly hemorrhaging players. It's not even clear that they're going to Roblox. They just found they might not be going to another game at all. Who knows? It's the mysterious casual audience. So, what the hell is going on with Fortnite? Well, they want to be Roblox. That could end up being a pretty disastrous calculation. Or maybe not. Maybe 2026 will even be more possible. It's impossible to really say. Epic is just like that. They both manage to be constantly on fire and on fire. same time, crashing and burning and an unprecedented success. They might be too big to fail, or they may be in the unenviable position of being big. Everything that goes up must come down eventually, though, and although I don't think it is all the way down, it's not a good chance. It's a current direction that things seem like it. What do you think? Leave us a comment, let us know. If you like this video, like it. If you're not subscribed, that's a great time to do so. Because we're training videos every day of the week. The best way to see the first courses is from don't forget to enable notifications. Please help you. Thank you for this video. I'm Falcon. Join the 1% Club, and that'll get you the Falcon Show exclusively every Saturday. We're having a blast. We're doing that every week. We'll see you there. This one is right here next time. And we're back with another episode of The Force of Time. That show we give you some straight up gameplay and our first impression of this game. So basic as you and today we're talking about I Am Jesus Christ. Now, this is the game that was revealed quite a few years ago. We have a cinematic concept trailer. We mentioned it on the show. Definitely got a lot of people leaving on it like, no, if you make a game, I Am Jesus. Well, they stuck with it, and now the game is out. So, our curiosity got tested. Really interesting. Ultimately, this game is a really good case study. It shows that people want the game. Some people lose perception of Steam versus people want to see religion, story, video. And I'd say, for me, like, not just because, but I'd like to see other videos. I could like to this game gives it an honest shot, but with a really small team. It really is. It is. It's pretty janky. But it proved to me that as crazy as it sounds, the story of Jesus can actually work in video game form. Because, I mean, like, it's a little dull, the presentation is awkward, and it's short, but it's done in earnest. And I give them a lot of credit for trying. And I definitely think, like, some theology heads or even historians or people of the faith are going to enjoy some of this. I'm just looking at this and critiquing or evaluating it as a game, and all this footage is captured running on PC, and I would usually say spoiler-free. It's not really spoiler-free because I think people know what happens at the end, but look, going into this, you really, and I mean really, need to set your expectations, alright? This is a $15 Steam game. Launch price is actually $13, that's what I got it for. It's like 5 hours long, and it was made by about 5 people. They're pretty upfront about this on the store page listing at least, but you certainly feel the small team, and it really feels like a first attempt. But you start out, you wake up as Jesus, you go outside, and you start looking for jobs and applicants, and then from there, you go through the story of Jesus all the way up to the section. And it's a first-person exploration adventure. It's kind of a walking simulator, but I would say it's a bit more involved than that, because the map is surprisingly big. You know, you have the Sea of Galilee, all the surrounding areas, Nazareth, and essentially wander from place to place, performing miracles and doing missions for your apostles. First, you have to kind of progress and gather the apostles, and then you look at them on a menu, click on their missions, go to their mission point, and engage in whatever story mission that is, which typically is something from the game is very dialogue heavy with a lot of characters. You have Mary, Joseph, the apostles, and a few others, and you're guided through the story by speaking to them as well as getting the occasional cutaway to a natural biblical narration. These narrative sequences often show kind of style moments that are like shockingly low resolution, but they help move the story forward. And even though sometimes they repeat what you actually do in game, so it feels like parts of the story are actually being told to you twice. Either way, where the game really succeeds and how it finds its charm is where it feels like an old school edutainment game. You know, kind of like those old school computer games that are focused around education first rather than video games. It has video game elements, which I'll get to in a little bit, but being really enthusiastic about
highlighting these big moments. It does this in the character dialogue, those kind of interstitial narrations I mentioned before. Also, the ability to find things in the environment that then you can look at the codex and read a little bit more, not even just about the Bible, but the history of the world. Here, as you progress through the adventure, Jesus essentially gains the ability to resurrect people, bring them back to the dead, heal people, as well as transfiguration, transforming things, and doing exorcisms. He actually has the ability to select these abilities from. Along with that, he also has like protective vision. It's like the base vision where he has some precognition or whatever, where you can essentially identify objects. Now, a lot of these stories are all over the place. Some of them feel like wasted potential, others feel pretty simple. Like I like healing people where you look at their bodies, look on their phones, and they just it's simple, but it works. But other things like resurrecting people, bringing people back to life, curing people of their illness, that type of thing involves engaging in a really, really frustrating and big mini game of trace and path. And that's pretty much all the game has for and then your exercise demons is a matter of looking at someone, using your ability, and then it activates a mini game into an arena where you run around and you have to kind of sap spirits and then drag those spirits in towards with an exercise. It gets really good. It just feels pretty simple. But hey, it works. It gets the job done. And with the big moments of survival and this game, some of them are disappointing. Some of them are turning water into wine. All you have to do is put on the water. I'm not kidding. But on the other hand, like walking on water. Just start walking on the water. Building a house. The apostle. Those little moments feel pretty cool. They feel very effective. The story of Jesus and Paul, doing these main things, these big moments from the Bible that consist of your main objective, but you also have these inside objectives where you can explore them. Again, surprisingly big map. Not just wandering around, sprinting from town to town, although there is fast travel. Not just sprinting in straight lines. Thankfully, Jesus has infinite stamina because of Jesus. But you find historical items in the environment to learn more about the time period. Also, find special points where Jesus will teach. Then when you click on those, you get a little excerpt from the Bible, words of Jesus, you learn a little something. You can also find random people out that need help. People need an exorcism, or people with their diseases or ailments. Doing all these things, you can earn points, and all these points contribute to running trees that are going to check lists. The more of these items that you check off, the more doing this, like healing 5 people, etc., earn you more points, which earns you more faith points, which is kind of like Jesus' expendable mana, so to speak. Using his abilities drains the faith. You can easily refill this at any point when you hold one where Jesus will pray. It's really, really simple. It doesn't force you to worry about it too much. Very, very bad. But it does a solid job of, being a Jesus simulator. It's really easy wandering from town to town, finding people, gaining more followers. You're healing people that are free at, looking at the merchant tables. You're actually debating the Pharisees and these little question and answer quiz mini games. I was actually surprised how much of these I got right. But it's all great. Like I said, it's either just sprinting down the barren path or eventually fast traveling. Progressing through all the key moments of it. It's very straightforward, very simple, but the game does show some creative juice. It's the creativeness to it during certain sequences, like the trial of Jesus, in the wilderness, as well as the Garden of Gethsemane. In particular, a very key point in this story is fleshed out in a way that I thought was pretty creative. Plus, you actually encounter Satan at certain points in this game, and I think they did a good job of establishing it as a intriguing subject. My only issue with a lot of this stuff comes down to the voices. There is a lot of voices. Obviously, the section of the game that narrates moments of the Bible, reads passages of the Bible, to all the apostles you speak with, and you learn about everything. It is a dialogue engine, and it feels like almost all of it is AI generated. Why?
Peter, I am glad you are home, but I am worried about my mother. She has been burning with fever for days. nothing helps. She grows weaker with each hour.
That's a late message, but this is all we have. Now, they were pretty upfront on the Steam store page listing. They said, hey, we're a small team, small budget, so we have AI voices. I gotta say, for one of the few rare, like, Bible-driven story games, you could find some enthusiastic volunteers to do the voices, because I really think the AI voices are a complete depth. They're very robotic and kind of shifting, like, you know, all these different accents here and there, like very inconsistent AI voices. Really, really crater any emotion you could possibly have with this game. Any emotional moment in this game, any beautiful revelation, none of it hits because the voices are so low. Again, I understand they're a small team, no budget, I really wish they could have gotten some volunteer voice actors to at least give it their best shot, because I still think that would have done better than these voices. My only other issue is, I know they worked on this game for a long time, but pacing-wise, it does feel like it steamrolls pretty fast through some key moments of this story. One of the easiest examples to point to is the crucifixion. It's a very simple sequence where you basically just walk in a straight line for a while, and all the stuff just happens at you. The game really takes its time in earlier moments and smaller moments, but I was really hoping the big moments would be fleshed out and portrayed in interesting and compelling ways, but unfortunately, a lot of it felt a little rushed. Like I said at the start, I finished the game in just under 5 hours, but because the open world is surprisingly big and all these little towns have things to find and people to cure, if you want to like completionist run it or you want to 100% it, you probably get a little bit more time out of it. There is stuff to do. It may not be the most exciting or thrilling video game wise, but you might learn a little something. And yeah, even though I had my issues, like I had a lot of criticism of the game, I still stuck with it. I was compelled enough to play through and just see video game developers put the story of Jesus in video games. It was a real curiosity of mine, a real fascination of mine, and it was interesting to see it play. So again, I would say, go in with your expectations well set, really understanding.
Here's your
thing, in here.
The kind of rushed, weird, janky experience that is also an enthusiastic and one that tries. And one that is passionate about the subject matter. Again, I think hardcore theologians and practitioners of this faith will get more out of it. Still, I'm just happy that there is some representation. Because again, even though like I have like the critic game reviewer faults of this game, look at Steam reviews. It seems like people are just happy to have something. And to go back to my point in the intro, I think that's where this game really succeeds. Because when you get past the oblivion faces, the really rough graphics, and the downright awful AI voices, this still manages to prove that, you know, the story of Jesus actually can make for a pretty interesting video game. I saw through it. I saw through all the bad parts of this game. Just because I was really interested in the story, and I was curious of this. Once it clicked with me as kind of like an education type of game. Look, if it's not your cup of tea, it's not going to be your cup of tea. But for religious folks, or people who just appreciate theology, which I certainly do, you know, maybe you can get a little something out of this. I'd like to see what this studio does next. Do like this kind of redux of this game. Flesh out these concepts. Again, I look at this game by it. There can actually be something interesting there. It's just really going to need the time and budget and development team to really back it up next time. But hey, that's it before you. You know how this goes by now. I give you some pros, some cons, personal opinion, and now I want to hear yours down in the comments. Are you one of the people that were just waiting for a Jesus Christ video game experience? Are you a fan of the Bible, or are you a complete atheist that was just curious? I'd love to know the perspective either way. But a very different and kind of tricky one to talk about. Thanks, it was kind of hard, but thanks if you gave us a watch. We really appreciate it. Click the like button, it helps us out. If seeing this video informed your purchase or anything like that, thank you. But we put out videos every single day, so check those out. But for now, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Jet
Z is facing the worst entry-level job market in nearly 40 years, with 2/3 of all entry-level roles filled by those with over 7 years of work experience. And with most employers not even considering hiring recent grads, AI is projected to eliminate 50% of all entry-level roles just within the next 4 years, raising the question, will Gen Z's career be nothing more than dead-end jobs? Well, you'd think that with every generation having been told the importance of education, only today graduating from the job market actively cutting entry-level jobs, that as Gen Z faces the worst layoffs since 2009, the second straight year of historic job revisions, stagnant wages, and mass outsourcing, all alongside rapid technological expansion, it would finally be enough to prove the system is failing the nation's workforce. But instead, society continues to lack any form of thinking.
When they talk about the recent grads having a hard time finding work, who are you? Suck it up, Bart. If I came out and started working after the dot-com collapse in 2000, like, it's supposed to be difficult.
Leaving Gen Z to pay the cost of decades of economic mismanagement, as the nation prioritized a
I wager they appear whenever the sun stops shining. Though I would prefer it if they had chosen to remain in whatever dank hole they call home.
The endless pursuit of shareholder profits all took hold throughout the 1980s. Corporate hiring practices fundamentally abandoned the pro handshake mentality, prioritizing the bottom line over long-term workforce stability, particularly when it came to entry-level roles. A Time magazine piece titled "The Blue-Collar Workers' Low-Down Blues" captured the growing despair among America's working class through workers like William West, a grain operator in a coal plant in Bradford, Pennsylvania, who saw no way to finance a college education for his 8-year-old son, asking, "What kind of future does my kid have when you can't even get a job without high school education?" Throughout the 1980s, only 28% of all jobs created were in high-level occupations, leaving high school graduates to fill the growing opportunities concentrated in low-wage service work, such as waitstaff and janitorial roles, with wages for young men falling from $12.19 in 1979 to $8.72 in 1995, while wages for young women declined from $9.01 to $7.43, setting the foundation for an entry-level job market where a college degree became the true barrier to entry, alongside a high school education becoming worthless in the eyes of employers, and others having to apologize to their sons. The embarrassment of blue-collar occupations, the collective pursuit of a college education, simply turned a degree into just another baseline in hiring, shifting entry-level roles to begin demanding years of work experience. Don Franklin, Director of Executive Recruitment for Nichols Midwest, told the New York Times in 1983, "A few years ago, we were happy to find students who had done well academically and were enthusiastic about our company. Now, in addition to good grades, most of my colleagues in retailing are hiring graduates who have had work experience, preferably in this field, and who played a leadership role in extracurricular activities. At the same time, the oversupply of graduates began forcing many into positions far below their qualifications." Bob Judius, manager of college relations for Continental Bank, noted that more and more graduates, specifically those in liberal arts, tell our recruiters that they are willing to be tellers or secretaries if they cannot get into one of our management training programs. But we ultimately choose not to hire them, as we suspect they would become frustrated, and as a result, less productive, if we could move them into a better job relatively quickly, and we just can't guarantee that, resulting in tens of thousands of young individuals being pushed into dead-end roles that limited long-term career mobility, setting the foundation for the nation's workforce to be forced to work more hours than nearly any other developed country just to barely scrape by. And rather than taking the steps needed to ensure that the next generation entered a fundamentally different system, Gen X was met with the same response. Suck it up, buttercup. Gen X, adhering to the same societal promise their parents had received, entered adulthood during the highly competitive dot-com boom and bust, where a growing surplus of college graduates, combined with prior work experience already becoming the baseline in hiring, allowed companies to offer far lower wages to the first generation carrying substantial student loan debt, effectively turning entry-level jobs into roles requiring expert-level ability for entry-level pay. John Conway, an intellectual property lawyer, reflected in 2001, "We were stuck in entry-level jobs, and the income didn't increase with the cost of living. Everything is delayed, from home buying to child rearing. In the middle of the game, the rules changed, and the bar for success was raised beyond our means once again." And rather than redefine how the nation's future could combat these rising costs and impacting wages, the millennials receive the wisdom needed to course correct and avoid repeating history. By 2008, millennials have become the most anticipated generation in history, with 70% pursuing higher education by the age of 25. Yet within a year, unemployment for young adults surged to 19.2%,
Until show
double the
opening?
national average. And despite the entry-level job
Use it
market
for a
already
second,
demanding a college degree and work experience, called for embarrassing low, companies increasingly turned to internships as a direct replacement for traditional entry-level roles. In 1992, only 17% of college students had participated in an internship, but by 2008, the number had increased to 83%, with a 2010 NBC report revealing that employers posted 3 times more unpaid internships than just 2 years prior. And by 2016, the global financial crisis resulted in millennial families to be 34% below wealth expectations. But instead of confronting how the system has failed, older generations dismiss the outcome as nothing more than laziness and entitlement. With not a single thing having been done to prevent it from happening again. While the United States has lost 43% of mid-wage occupations since the global financial crisis and gained 58% more low-wage jobs, Gen Z is now aggressively competing for lower quality roles and struggling with immense levels of debt. In a market where over 70% of entry-level jobs require a college degree and nearly 40% demand 3 to 5 years of experience, all while median entry-level wages sit just slightly above what a Ford factory worker earned in 1914, in a system where even internships no longer function as an entry point into the workforce. Despite 75% of employers claiming they are struggling to fill job vacancies, the second highest rate in 2 decades, a 2022 study of 400 job applications submitted by Business.com to department interns found that only 12% received any response, just 5% expressed interest, and not a single application resulted in a hire, with candidates actually more likely to be ghosted when they met over 90% of the listed requirements. And when this is compared to unemployment data, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York found that among college graduates aged 22 to 27, computer science and computer engineering majors now face some of the highest unemployment rates in the country, more than double those of biology and even art history graduates. At the same time, nearly 60% of entry-level roles within the IT industry now require 3 to 5 years of experience, all while the share of IT workers within the H-1B program has surged to over 65% over the last 5 years. Now, I've discussed in great detail on the channel how the majority of AI layoffs are just H-1B replacement. Even getting Dr. Ron Hira, the leading expert in American outsourcing, discussed the systemic abuse that H-1B exploitation has caused on the American workforce, and how the $100,000 fee is nothing more than a complete facade. However, every discussion I've had has framed the crisis as the outsourcing of mid-grade tech roles for cheaper wages, since, by definition, the whole point of the H-1B program is to allow employers to hire skilled foreign workers in specialty occupations that the United States does not have enough of. But it was recently brought to my attention by a friend who just entered an IT role at a sales company that every entry-level role in his department is filled by H-1B workers. In fact, it appears that the majority of H-1B approvals are now specifically for entry-level positions. And you can even go on Indeed or ZipRecruiter and find run-of-the-mill entry-level jobs explicitly offering H-1B sponsorship, meaning that the growing demand for experience within the entry-level market may not actually be about experience at all, but is instead structured in a way that legally justifies hiring cheaper foreign labor, highlighting just how far both companies and our government are willing to go to enrich the pockets of shareholders at the cost of developing the skill sets needed for the future of the American workforce. And even for the small percentage of Gen Z that actually manages to break through and land one of these so-called entry-level roles, what they're met with is not an opportunity for a career, but a job that pays less, offers no real benefits, provides little to no pathway for advancement, and ultimately does nothing to address the issues actually plaguing society, which is why I'm grateful to be partnered with 80,000 Hours. 80,000 Hours is a nonprofit that aims to help people find careers that contribute to solving the world's most pressing problems. They provide free resources that help break down how your career can influence areas like global health, factory farming, and AI safety, alongside a job board built around high-impact roles and free one-on-one advising to evaluate career paths and causes. They also recently released an updated version of their book, which is officially available for pre-order, titled 80,000 Hours, How to Have a Fulfilling Career That Does Good, which challenges traditional advice by explaining why following your passion can be misleading, why so-called safe careers are increasingly exposed to automation, why traditional career advice no longer works in the age of AI, and why so many of the most critical global problems remain overlooked. So if you want help building a career that is meaningful, fulfilling, and aligned with solving our problems, check out the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. Thank you 80,000 Hours for partnering with the channel. Alongside Gen Z facing the compounded effect of what each generation previously had to endure, they're also running into what will inevitably be the largest disruptor in the history of the human workforce, LinkedIn. I'm just kidding, it's AI. Now, a large inspiration behind this video was a recent post by Josh Burson, often cited as a leading HR and workplace analyst, explaining why AI will not be replacing entry-level jobs, because they're just so important. His argument is predominantly centered on the fact that most companies view entry-level jobs as the way to build teams that can develop into senior roles that will eventually lead the organization, as they serve so many other purposes, besides just getting work done. And in many ways, I actually think that he made some pretty good points. However, I unfortunately think that his career ladder framework is just not an accurate representation of the market. As with everything we've discussed, is that one, entry-level jobs by definition just do not exist. And two, this decay has been happening for over 4 years. That's 4 decades of a lack of investment. If it mattered as much as Burson and other pundits say, we would have been taking care of entry-level jobs. We wouldn't be having
It's
this
the missing
conversation
dog.
together.
That
According to
poor old man's gonna be
Resume.org,
pretty
by the end of
upset.
2026,
Hey, wait.
36% of companies say they will have frozen entry-level hiring. And by 2027, 47% expect to eliminate it entirely. Even Anthropic CEO, who has famously predicted that 50% of entry-level jobs will be gone by 2030,
Well, the
regardless
least we
of
can
his
do is bring it.
intentions,
It's too
never
bad
actually
about
frames
that
the
poor
shift
dog.
from creating
This
new
is gonna be
entry-level
hard for that old timer to
or
deal with.
alternative ways of
Be they
developing their
dog or
workers.
man,
Instead,
no
he frames
living
it around
thing
the fact
can
that
escape
AI
their
can work
ultimate
8-hour
fate.
shifts without breaks
That
or
include
burnout.
you, Vice?
Find your perfect tax expert.
In truth, I have never
Tax
considered the
situation
question.
might be.
I suppose at some point in
Burnout,
time
which to
I may
me
simply
perfectly shows the
wink
true
out
intention
of
behind this push
existence.
for AI.
Now
Now,
that
despite
sounds
there being
horrible.
some unbelievably strong cases for why AI is not even remotely
Yeah?
close to fully automated
See here.
jobs, with MIT
If I
finding
ever
that
find
95% of generative AI pilots in
departing
companies
this
are
world.
failing, a separate
Quit being
MIT
morbid,
study using a
Vice.
simulation
Besides, you
of the
can't
iceberg
die.
effects
You're made of
found that AI
paper.
can already technically replace
One can always
11.7%
hope,
of the
I
US labor
suppose.
market, representing roughly $1.2 trillion in wages across finance, healthcare, and professional services, while current so-called AI layoffs account for just 2.2% of that exposure. So whether AI actually works and unemployment skyrockets in a system that has no real plan for how this technology serves the workforce, or it completely backfires, and the hundreds of billions of dollars being poured into data centers through private credit and circular financing destabilizes the economy and leads to yet another bailout, combined with the severe economic consequences of a collapsing talent pipeline. The outcome is all the same. The burden falls on the generation entering the workforce. Because after everything we've discussed, we've spent decades trying to build a future that we think that we want. But by
Excuse me.
today,
You mean
we're
Granddad?
more likely to end up with
He
the
passed
future
away.
we wish we never
Oh,
had.
man.
And so what I hope that we're beginning
Looks
to
like you.
recognize
Here,
is that
hold on a
what's
second.
happening within the
His
individual
dog
job
had this
market,
leaf, and
just like
that's the herb
many other
Granddad
aspects
used
of
for his
the
heart
economy,
medication.
is that it could have been
I suppose I owe you a great deal.
None of this had to
I
happen.
can't give you much.
The fact that there's
Such a
individuals that entered
faithful
adulthood
animal.
in the
You think
1980s,
Max and Granddad
they
are together
experienced
in heaven?
very
I do.
similar
I'm sure of it.
difficulties within the entry-level job market, the cost of living, and wage stagnation, all these different aspects. And you fast forward 40 years, and we're experiencing the exact same things, but worse. It's a failure not only on our corrupt governments and our greedy corporations,
Which job should I give you first?
but us, our grandparents, and our parents.
Someone wants you to
and all
collect
the
an item
individuals
from
that
the Airy.
You know what?
Yeah,
I'm
go
gonna
ask
get
the client
mine.
for more details.
Screw the future.
I kind of... I wrote down the client's look.
The reason that's happening is because we have turned the United States into a society of
You ever heard
individuals
Devila and Popola sing?
and
Sure.
not a community.
Devilous.
I ain't
It
talking
is so
about
much easier
that.
to see
I'm
somebody
talking
that's
about the two
struggling.
of them singing.
That's
No.
stolen
They used to
over
come here
time,
and sing all the time.
ran into bad
Lately,
luck,
they're so busy.
some sort of difficulty in their life and say, you're lazy,
Sure.
you're
I
entitled.
suppose I
You
am.
don't even know how hard I had it. It's so much easier for you these
Say,
days.
I don't see-
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Suck
Hey,
it up, Buttercup.
do you-
I'll make the time.
I was hoping you could go to the Airy and get an eagle.
It sounds as if someone is brewing up another batch of medicine.
I sure am.
Rice?
The Airy is full of shade.
I think the
Come
unfortunate
on,
reality
Vicey.
is that
Hey, Devila.
You're as...
I heard you and Popola used to sing at the tavern.
Wait, you want to hear us sing?
I can't
But
see how
hey.
things get any better. But it's also our responsibility.
Apparently,
because
you can
clearly nobody else
sometimes
is gonna
find
do it.
eagle eggs in places where you...
That Gen Alpha will soon be entering adulthood. And by
Which
soon, I mean,
job should I
in a
give
couple
you
decades.
first?
They will be entering adulthood. And what is the future like
Some
for them?
guy in... I wrote...
Absolutely there are still opportunities to be able to make a career today. You can enter the trades. That's what everybody's going to tell you in the comment section. It's time to get your hands dirty and actually work.
Which job should I
enter
give
the
you
trades.
first?
You can still do
Come
it the
back.
traditional route. There are still opportunities for them.
Apparently.
In networking and communication and social media and entrepreneurship, all of that is still absolutely valid. I'm not saying that the world is ending. I'm saying that things are getting worse. So 5 years from now, can we say if entry-level jobs or the job market is even going to look similar to what we have now? I don't think that we can. How about a decade from now? 2 decades from now? 50 years from now? It's almost, because things are so difficult, the cost of living is so bad, and wage stagnation is so bad, and we're almost paying so much in all these aspects. It's given us the excuse to feel like we are not responsible for what happens 50 years from now. And so when we lack responsibility and in any form of accountability, well, it gives the corrupt government and the greedy corporations free rein to do whatever it is that they want. And who has to pay the prices for this? It's going to be Gen Alpha. It's going to be Gen Z. Just like it was the baby boomers, and just like it was Gen X, and just like it was millennials. But nothing was done to stop it from happening. And so it is our responsibility to ensure that somebody is looking after the next generation.
Can I ask you a...
Sure.
I heard you and Devila used...
Oh, goodness.
Too busy.
That's part of it. But also, I need a certain drink before...
Well, that should be no...
Actually, the stuff I like to drink is pretty rich.
There was an older gentleman sitting next to me on
Have you tracked down...
And there was 2 people kind of my age. I'm 26, they were probably like 28, 29. And they were talking about what the older guy did for work, so he was some sort of company. And he was talking about how he outsources his IT-related roles at his company to Uganda. And he was talking about how fantastic it is that they will work for $5 a day. They'll work 24 hours, and if they get tired, they just sleep under their desk. And he was so enthusiastic about it. Now, that alone, I think, is horrible.
This program has been designed to teach anyone who's interested in learning technical support fundamentals, computer network.
What was worse was the people around my age. They were frothing at the mouth, as if like Anne Hathaway just asked them on a date. I was stunned, and I'm really frustrated myself that I didn't say anything. I was so exhausted, so in disbelief, and so at like a loss of hope seeing that. I just didn't know what to do. But again, those are people that are the future. That wasn't private equity. That wasn't Jeff Bezos saying that. That wasn't, Microsoft and LinkedIn and all the things that we want to blame. That was 2 people my age in Austin, Texas, that were saying, heck yes, I can't wait to outsource American jobs to somebody that's going to have to sleep under their desk for $5 a day. And yeah, the $5 a day probably does help their family. But again, do we really want to be championing having somebody have to work 24 hours sleeping under their desk for an IT-related role? I don't think that's a nation that we want to be. And the unfortunate reality is, why isn't anybody else saying this? Now, I understand that in our niche of YouTube, people are saying this, and I think that most Americans feel this. Why hasn't more been done? I don't understand why there isn't more leadership. I don't understand why previous generations are continuing to do nothing to help. It doesn't make sense to me. And again, if you want to blame the lazy Gen Z or whatever, what about the kids right now? What about the children? We're responsible for their future. And we are wasting it. We're saying, here's an iPad.
Here's how we're gonna stop
Screw you. That's the unfortunate reality. I've worked many jobs. My first job was working at a garbage company. I then worked at my friend's Chinese restaurant. And then my first real job was working at Torchy's Tacos. I was the first employee hired there. I learned so much at that job. And leadership skills, time management, so many different aspects. It's a lot. There's compounding effects of me being able to do this today. I now go to the same Torchy's location that I was hired at.
woman.
There's no cashiers. It's tablets. What happened to those?
Woman.
The opportunities for young people to be able to develop those skill sets is gone. Now, most people will say, oh, well, you know, you need to go get a real job and, you know, all these other things. But I look at it in the big picture, and I say, I don't think it's great that when I go into most of these restaurants, the server is an older individual. I don't think it's great that people are having to be forced out of retirement and taking the entry-level positions that would be a teenager's job. It's creating a massive collapse of the talent pipeline. And again, are you seeing anything being done to solve this? No. There's no incentive to. We have to provide the incentive. We have to demand the change. And we do that by leading within our own lives. So if you're going to start a company, ensure that you're doing it for the betterment of the community. You're doing it to hire local Americans. You're doing it to create lasting change. And if you're going to support them, ensure that you do your best. And whatever avenue it is that you do within your life, do the best that it is that you can. And that isn't just, I'm going to kind of half-ass it and pretend it's my best. Do your best. And do it for the person right next to you. Do it for the little kids. Somebody has to be looking out for them. Our country clearly isn't doing that, if you know what I'm talking about. So, it's up to us to be able to protect them. And I'm going to do the best that I can. And it's starting to feel much more difficult. I'm feeling like I don't know how to do it, but I'm feeling like I'm trying to throw as many things out there as I can to try to get some engagement, get some interaction, figure out what leadership looks like for me, and try to get us moving in a forward direction, because I think everything else is trying to pull us the opposite direction. And I'm saying we have to keep our eye on the ball. And even though things are difficult for us, it's up to us to stop kicking the can down the road. And I'm going to do the best that I can in doing that. So I hope this was able to provide some... to you. If it did, I would really appreciate if you liked the video, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Like I mentioned, I'm really trying to create a movement. I'm really trying to create change here. And if you would like to be a part of that, I would greatly appreciate the support. It really does mean a lot. So I hope this video was able to provide value. Thank you all so much for your time. Just do the best that you can. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Here's the best hack to find a job in New York City fast. Step 1. Download the Job Today app and set up your profile. You can either create it manually .
I was talking to a friend who works at Target, who wouldn't share certain store policies with me because she could lose her job. So, with it, what are some corporate secrets you can now disclose about Company X? Now that you no longer work there? Former fast food manager here. I don't know if this is a company-wide thing. In our regional MIC manager strongly discouraged us from firing anyone who had worked there more than 6 months, since they'd be eligible for unemployment. Instead, we were encouraged to make their lives into a living heck until they, hopefully, gave up and quit. It's practically policy of McDonald's. Source: my McDonald's manager handbook. I worked at a Hilton hotel where I had to stand for 8 hours straight and was given breaks only if the front desk wasn't busy. There always had to be one person at the front desk at all times. Florida law doesn't require breaks, but most companies do. Hilton does not. If you book a hotel room on one of those travel websites, Expedia, Travelocity, etc., you are guaranteed to get the worst rooms available. Sure, if the hotel is completely empty, you'll get a fine room. But if the hotel is half full,
you'll be getting the crappy rooms because you paid the lowest price. None of those websites can guarantee room type or accommodations, and I've peed people off many times because we didn't have the type of room they thought they booked. Also, shady stuff happens in hotels. Employees have quickies in vacant rooms. Employees sleep in vacant rooms without telling housekeeping so they don't get in trouble, and it never gets cleaned. Pro tip: be extra sweet and nice to the front desk people. They don't get paid enough to hear people bitching at them for other employees' mistakes. Also, it'll get you special treatment if you're having a problem. I know this isn't that juicy, but I used to work at an overnight camp. I had also gone there as a camper, and every morning we had a drawing where we put all the campers' names into a hat and picked one out at random. And the kid that got picked got to spin the wheel of wonder and do silly stuff to the counselors like pour flour on them, or throw water balloons, etc. Well, as it turns out, when I was old enough to be a counselor, they let me in on the secret. All the papers inside the hat are blank. They pick a kid that seems to be having a hard time adjusting to camp life, or a kid who isn't very social, and then pretend to pull their name out of the hat. In conclusion, my childhood was a lie. I used to sit there every morning hoping that they would pull my name, but I never won. At least the kids that really needed it end up getting that extra attention though. I used to work at Starbucks. We were always hyper-vigilant for people who ordered a tall mocha and continually checked their phone. Starbucks secret shoppers always order a tall mocha and evaluate us based on time, quality of the drink, and whether or not we were pleasant and friendly. And these secret shoppers would get us employee rewards if we did a good job. If you want a dang stinking good cup of chocolate flavored coffee with hilariously over-the-top customer service, you know what to do. I used to secret shop Starbucks. I always used to get a tall white chocolate mocha twist. Payway's chicken lettuce wraps. The chicken is the fatty bits we cut off during morning prep work. Whoever carves the chicken all day just gets a little sloppy so that the pieces he cuts off are 80% fat and 20% meat. Then it all gets mixed in a meat grinder. It's one of their top sellers and it costs the company next to nothing, since the alternative is throwing away the fatty pieces. For the meat cutter here, we did that with just about everything. We called it the rug pile. We package it up and sell it for super cheap. It's great for making soup out of. I used to work at a Disney store. If you ever hear them mention a customer as a customer and not a guest, it means they are suspected of shoplifting or something else bad. I worked at American Apparel for 2 years. During the time that I worked there, the company implemented a company-wide recruitment policy where any person applying for a position must be photographed. One headshot, one body shot. The actual resumes were thrown in the garbage. These photos were then sent to a company email address where someone would either give a thumbs up or down to the photographs. Staff were encouraged to recruit in store and on the street and were given a $100 bonus for every person they got approved. Before this was implemented, all existing staff were photographed in-game. One headshot and one body shot. Anyone deemed to be physically unworthy was let go from the company. Of course, this wasn't legal. However, right before they started this process, every employee had to sign a waiver form. That was pretty much a lot of legal gibberish on the spot. I wanted to have a lawyer take a look at the form, however I was told I had to sign it on the spot or I would be let go. There was also a company intranet website which all employees were to check on a regular basis. This was Doc's main line of communication to all staff. The site would have pictures of girls from the stores where he would rip them apart for having too thin eyebrows, for having ugly makeup or bad tattoos and piercings. They were basically publicly shamed for not looking the way he wanted to. He would also post memos saying things like hire more Asians. Needless to say, I no longer work for the company and will never shop there again. I've actually wanted to get this out there cause it has really bothered me and it's been a few years. I worked at Dollar Tree. Terrible decision BTW. The store had a charity drive for toys during Christmas. We would ask people at the end of their checkout if they wanted to donate a toy for active military families' kids. The incentive for the cashier was to sell the most and you would win like $100 or something. I got second place so I don't remember. Anyway, we sold what had to be thousands. So we thought, it was easy since what's one extra dollar, right? Well, Whenever the customers bought a toy, it went into a big bin at the front. However, after every day, this bin was unloaded and was recycled to be sold yet again, over and over. In other words, there were only so many toys that they just sold over and over. I guess they figured that we sold so many that every local kid was buried in toys, but I will never forget it. It makes me sad and reluctant to donate unless I know it'll actually go somewhere. This wasn't the only thing that was sketchy either. I used to work at Petco. They had this spa upgrade added to their grooming package. Included special scented shampoo, conditioner, and teeth brushing. By corporate, each store had to sell a certain number of spa packages to meet the quota or they'd be written up. The manager at my store added it onto every dog, even if THD customer didn't ask for it. Suddenly a dog whose haircut should cost $50 now cost $70. We had many complaints and lost a lot of customers. I used to work for Toys R Us, and majority of the rare toys that people try to collect usually don't even hit the shelves because the workers already put them aside for themselves. Seems completely good. Like the script. That sits out in the